Hello. So I recently made some TikToks about my experiences as a white girl at an HBCU, and some of my friends wanted to see it, so I'm throwing some together, and there's probably going to be more than one video, but TikTok videos are only a minute long, so I'm going to be bunching a few of them together, and I hope you enjoy listening to my experiences. It was a great time, and I learned so much. Have a great day. Part 1 of things I learned at an HBCU. So it was fall of 1990 and I was starting my first semester at FAMU. For a little background, there was only one black kid at my high school and I didn't really know him. He was younger than me. We weren't in any classes together, so I really didn't know any black people at that point. So I had gotten to know my teammates a little bit, and the first week on campus I saw all these shirts. I haven't seen any lately, but it looks like they still exist. Anyway, they said it's a black thing, you wouldn't understand. And back then, I did not know what white fragility was, but I was feeling it. So I asked my teammates, well, what won't I understand? What can't I understand? And they pretty much all just laughed at me. They basically told me I'll never understand what it is like to be black. And they were right. No matter how many black friends I have, no matter how hard I try, I'll never truly understand. Part 2 of things I learned at an HBCU. Actually, thankfully, I learned this one before I went to FAMU. I'm really embarrassed to admit this one, but I'm hoping it will help other white people learn from my mistakes. Anyway, before I went to FAMU, I was already listening to music from Eazy-E and 2 Live Crew. This was back in the early 90s. And I knew that the N-word was bad, but when I was singing the songs, I thought, wow, they're saying it, I guess I can say it too. I'm so embarrassed to admit that I ever thought it was right, but I'm hoping by sharing this that somebody will hear it and learn, no, we can't say it. It's kind of like how girlfriends call each other the B word. It's only for us. It's like that, we can't say it ever. Part 3 of what I learned at an HBCU. So before I came to Florida, I lived up north, and I had never heard the word cracker. I heard the word honky, but I never heard the word cracker. So my friends had to explain what that meant to me, and I just told them they could call me a Ritz because Ritz crackers are cool. Anyway, so that was my nickname. Another nickname I had was White Lightning because I was the slowest one on the team. But to be honest, I was also the slowest runner on my white high school softball team. I was a pitcher, give me a break. I also learned what the word token means. And if you don't know what that means, basically it's like when people put a black person on a team or in a group just so they don't look racist. So of course I misunderstood and thought I was the white token. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, that's what I learned. Okay, I'm on a roll, folks. Here's part 4 of what I learned at an HBCU. So one of the things that FAMU is most famous for is the Marching 100. And you have not seen a band or heard a band unless you've seen them. I'm going to put a little clip here. Going to the games was so much fun. I remember just living on campus and hearing them practice, and you'd hear the drum beats all throughout the whole campus, and such good memories. Another side note, back then all of us didn't have cell phones, and so if my friends came to the game, we could always find each other because they'd see my little white face in the crowd. They'd be like, there's Jill. All right, you asked for it. Here's part 5 of things I learned at an HBCU. I don't like to make generalizations, but overall, black people are really nice. I asked a lot of dumb questions when I was there, but my friends, I guess they saw my heart and that I really care about people, all people. And even though I didn't really know much about black culture, black history, I mean, they were there for me. They made fun of me too. And that's another thing I like. Like, it's not bullying, but like playfully making fun of each other. We had so much fun. So don't be afraid to talk to somebody that doesn't look like you. We're all people, you know? Just be nice. And that's what I learned at FAMU. Part 6 of what I learned at an HBCU. Black beauty products smell good. And they are different from white products. I can almost smell cocoa butter just thinking about it. Having black roommates was very cool and very interesting. I learned so much. So this was in the 90s when big hair was starting to go out of style, but I still used hairspray at the time. And I remember getting ready for school one morning, and I don't know if I was out of hairspray or it was there, and I accidentally grabbed my roommate's oil sheen. Does anybody still use that, or is that like something really old? Anyway, it smelled so good. It smelled like cherries, but it was not good for my hair. It looked super greasy, but I was running late, so that's how I went to school. Part 7 of what I learned at an HBCU. A lot of people were asking how I ended up at an HBCU and why did I want to go there since I came from a white high school. And the truth is, I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, people are people. I knew it was predominantly black, but back then I didn't think that there might be a difference in the cultures. And when some of the coaches would be like, Jill, you know, it's going to be different, I was like, that's racist. But with my whitewashed history classes that I took, I had no idea about everything that black people in our country have gone through. I literally thought, well, segregation's over, everything must be good now. But that's not the case. Racism still exists. Because of that, black culture is different, and different isn't bad. Not all black people are the same. Black culture is beautiful. Somebody asked for pictures, so this is my high school softball team on the day that we won the state championships. That's me. This is my college team. I think the year was 91-92. That's me. Look at that. The best coach in the world. Coach Wiggins was there 30 years ago, and she just retired this past year. The bus trips were so much fun. I saw some of my teammates this past summer at a FAMU BCC game. Well, now it's BCU. Look at those shoulder pads. I was in this newspaper article. I was even on the cover of a magazine.